This is David Leonard here in the Oregon woods outside of Vernonia, and it's a beautiful place. I haven't been in the woods in Oregon for many years, and many plants that I haven't seen in a long time. And this is a Rumex, I think crispus dock, yellow dock. The roots have lots of berberine, and I believe the body of the plant is used as an alterative, and the roots are used for infections and inflammation and what the Chinese call damp heat. Berberine is a very interesting substance. It apparently it helps antibiotics do their job better. When antibiotic-resistant bacteria evolved, they evolved the ability to pump the antibiotics out of their cells, and apparently berberine helps to block the ability of those bacteria to pump the antibiotics out of their cells. And this is a good adjunct therapy to antibiotic therapy. This is a buttercup, some kind of ranunculus. This family is really interesting, highly complex, often very toxic, but some of our most interesting medicinal plants come from the Ranunculaceae family. Here's our old friend chickweed, a relative of the Hawaiian Drymeria, which the Hawaiians call ihi. Very tasty, edible, alterative cleanser, good for the bladder and the kidneys. And here is a crepus with some sort of insect foam on there. Crepus is closely related to our Youngia japonica. This is crepus. I can't remember the epithet for this. The plant is used as a mild antibacterial, and the roots are used, because the roots have inulin in them, they're used to stabilize blood sugar. And this also isn't edible. The young leaves are edible. Here's cleavers, alterative cleanser, strong diuretic. I can't remember the Latin name of cleavers, but it's quite a common plant on the mainland. There's our old friend Usnea, not sure of the species. Seems to be ubiquitous all over places I've ever been at elevation. Great herb to tincture. Usually it's a double extraction process, good for the lungs. Native Americans say Usnea symbolizes the lungs of the planet. And in Hawaii, we're very careful not to use it, only because Usnea will accumulate heavy metals, and the vog from Hawaiian volcanoes are filled with heavy metals, so I'm always very circumspect on using Hawaiian Usnea. And here's nettles. Urtica doica, I think, is the epithet. I'm not sure quite how to pronounce that. This is a blood builder, a delicious edible, related to the Hawaiian mamaki. Probably has very similar qualities, and because it has formic acid in it, it is used as a counter irritant for joint pain. So with certain kinds of arthritis, Native Americans would whip themselves as a counter irritant to help speed the healing process, or ironically, to reduce the inflammation in the joints. And there's some wild strawberry, Fragaria. I'm not sure what this is. It looks like it might be a Solomon seal or a false Solomon seal. I'm imagining it's a monocot. Here's a rubus, some sort of blackberry or raspberry. And here's some more equisetum. Chinese call that mutse. It's used for inflamed eyes. It grows along wet areas. and has a lot of silica in it. And this is Oregon grape, Vernonia, used as a substitute for the Chinese Coptis Huanglian or golden seal. Very strong berberine containing plant. Luckily it is not endangered like golden seal. It's quite abundant here in the Pacific Northwest. This is a really interesting Apiaceae. I think it was called Sweet Annie, but I'm not positive about that. Not sure of the genus. Down here is, Cassidy was telling me, this herbalist here was telling me there's something called vanilla weed. They are, apparently when it dries, it has no fragrance when it's fresh, but when it's dried, it smells like vanilla. Lots of really large oxalis, some of the largest oxalis I've ever seen. And as you can see, this is just a lovely area. This could be, looks very similar to some of the places where Amanda was lost up in upcountry Maui in the Makawao forest. This is some kind of Asteraceae. Cassidy, I believe Cassidy said it was related to Tussilago or coltsfoot. There's the ever ubiquitous plantain, Plantago, probably Plantago major. And some Taraxacum officinale, some dandelion. This looks like Prunella vulgaris, shakutsao, or self-heal or heal-all. Really good antimicrobial. This is looks like a wild lettuce, related to wild lettuce. Not exactly it's some kind of lactuca. Not exactly the wild lettuce, but I believe it's in the same genus. It's humbling to be in places as beautiful as this. It's a good reminder, at least for me, to pay attention to the small miracles that show up every day in our lives, that just fly under our radar.